One of the gifts of COVID has been a place of self-reflection for everyone I talk to. There's this moment where we're starting to ask ourselves, do we love what we're doing? Do we want to continue on the path that we're on? And one of those big questions has to do with your J.O.B. And today we're going to talk about just that. And I am thinking about this as walking away from the golden handcuffs. Lots of people I work with and talk to have a job that pays them well, and they have benefits, it's cozy, it's comfortable, but they also know that they want more. And this collective pause that we've gotten to have during COVID is causing people to question, how do I want to move into my future? Do I want to be a full-time entrepreneur and get off the treadmill of working for someone else and lining their pockets? Do I want to leave the benefits that I have? That's kind of scary. Do I want to leave the secure paycheck? This is a really important topic, and I know that a lot of you listening to the Max Potential Habits podcast are doing a side hustle, and there is that place in you where you're like, if only I could do exactly what I want to do every single day of my life, that would be awesome. So that's what we're going to talk about. If it's your first time here, I'm Dr. Amanda Barrientez, the founder of NFA Coaching, the host of this podcast, Max Potential Habits. This is your place to come each and every week for tips, tools, and inspirational interviews to help you get inspired to optimize your habits so you can thrive in your life and business. So let's keep going on this. One quote that inspired me for this specific episode is from Steve Jobs. He says, "For the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something." I think this is such an important self-reflective question. Are you waking up every day inspired, alive, on fire, thriving, and going like, yes, 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 I love my job. I love what I'm doing in the world. I love my business. Maybe you love having a job and a side hustle. Maybe you're in the process of transitioning your side hustle to a full-time business where you're the CEO of a team. Whatever it is for you, I want you to really reflect on if this was the last day of your life and you were looking back and thinking, was I fulfilled? Did I make an impact? Did I have the income that I wanted to have? Did I get to do what I wanted to do every day? Is that your life? Or are there a lot of days where you wake up filled with a sense of dread, with a sense of irritation and resentment and frustration, and feeling like you want to procrastinate all day long because you don't like what you're doing? If that's the case for you, let's talk about that because that is no way to live life. I've really been thinking a lot and talking a lot with the people I work with about this part of fun and playfulness. And I know in previous podcasts recently, I've been talking about for you to manifest what you want to manifest, you got to raise your vibrational frequency so that you can step into a different field of attracting different things you want to attract your way. That is impossible to do if you don't like the work you do every day. We spend a ton of time at work. That it becomes like, if you work with a group of people, it becomes your surrogate family. You commute there, so you spend time driving there, you spend time at work, you spend time with the people around you, absorbing everything that's going on there. This is the skills you're building, this is the life you're creating, and you only get this one short life. I know sometimes it seems long, let's say you live 100 years, which would be a pretty long life, you still only get 100 years. And do you want to live every single day in bliss and joy and inspiration, or do you want to live it in dread and fear and frustration? I choose to be in the place of not fear. I choose to be in the place of faith and flow. So I think about fear and faith as being opposite, and fear and flow as being opposite sides of what you could create in your life and business. But it takes you being willing to let go of the golden handcuffs, right? So you've got to walk away from the golden handcuffs. And I really love the last episode, guest we had on episode number 112, Lane Booth, was talking about just that. She had a 6-figure income in a corporate setting, and she realized through some layoffs, she didn't get laid off, but she realized ooh, I'm indispensable. And at any point in time, I'm not in control of my reality. And although it sounded like she liked what she did in a lot of ways, she really wanted to step into this fuller version of herself and doing exactly what she wanted to do. I hear this all the time with people. People ask me all the time. You know, I went from the academic setting where the paycheck was very, very small, but it was secure. I had benefits, some benefits. And when I decided to become a coach, I didn't do it because I was stepping into a field of security. Yes, long-term security and doing what I love, that's why I stepped into it, because I thought, okay, what kind of impact do I want to make? What kind of inspired day do I want to have? And who do I want to be in control of my life? Me. I want to be in control of my life and business. For some people, that means being an entrepreneur. For some people, it means being an entrepreneur. For some people, it means working in a company where you can be at the highest levels. For some people, it means having that secure paycheck day to day. But I know, because you're here and you know that this is for entrepreneurs, there's some part of you that is very inspired to have control of your life completely, which means having control of the way that you make your money. And so if you're like Steve Jobs and you're getting up in the morning and you're going like, crap, my life every day is getting shorter and shorter, I want to choose to do what I love. Let's think about how to do that for you, because happiness is magnetic. Joy and inspiration are what I want you to wake up with every single day of your life. And we all have that choice. We really do. It could be that you're stuck in a situation where you feel like you can't escape. I want you to start thinking about a transitional plan. Here's the action plan for you. If you're stuck, let's say you're walking away from gold in handcuffs, and what that usually means is that you have a really high-paying job and that you have benefits and that it's pretty cozy and comfortable, and it's hard to walk away from that because you're like, well, crap, I'm going to be giving up all this security. I'm going to be giving up my benefits. Potentially you have benefits for your whole family. That's pretty hard to walk away from. It's a little bit easier when you're a person who's working a job you hate and it doesn't pay that well and you don't have benefits. You're like, okay, I'm taking the leap. For me, when I walked away from my academic, I was an instructor, and it's very well known that adjunct professors and instructors don't get paid very well. And so it was like, okay, either I've got to step into a tenure track position, which is another 7 years of intense, stressful work that's not that high paying. I would have had to move out of Boulder. I've been here for 24 years. That would have been crazy. My family's here, my kids are here, everyone's here, and my whole life is here. And I also would have, been stepping into not a very high income, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the leap. But I also didn't have a lot to lose. Taking the leap for me meant I'm walking away from, a take-home paycheck of $1,600 a month. I was on food stamps, so it was like, okay, if I can't make $1,600 as an entrepreneur pretty quickly, then maybe I shouldn't be an entrepreneur. So for me, I saved up as much as I could, and I took the leap. And my transitional plan, which I want you to create if this is where you're at, my transitional plan was, okay, I've got 3 months to make $2,000 a month, to start making that much, because I could live on that amount at that time. So I want you to come up with a transitional plan. And for me, it was like, I'm all in. So number one, I want you, and my mantra, decide, commit, take action. Decide what you want. Decide, okay, I'm happy at my job, or let's say I have a secure job, so it makes me happy and that I'm comfortable, but I also know there's so much more that I want to do. I want to have the faith to step into a business, to step into my own role as a leader and the CEO of a company, or maybe it's that you just go, I just want to have control of my time and energy and space. You've got to decide that, and then you've got to commit and take action. Number two, I want you to create a transitional plan to leave your 9 to 5. If you're in a secure, cozy job and you don't have a lot of savings or an option for other benefits, and you just take the leap without thinking about it, you're gonna put yourself into a state of panic and fear. And that's not a very magnetic energy. So make a transitional plan. Decide, okay, at this amount, when my business that I'm building on the side gets to a certain amount, then I'll leave my job. That way you have that, you're not triggering your brain into a fight, flight, freeze response, which often happens when people leave their jobs too early and step into entrepreneurship, and then they fail, and then they think entrepreneurship is for them. I don't want that to happen to you. So make a transitional plan. And last, be persevering and patient. It takes time to grow a business. It takes dedication. It takes showing up daily, and it takes you being very connected to your why, and it takes you being patient. It's not going to happen overnight. Remember that. There's going to be bumps in the road along the way, but you can do it. Thanks for being here. You're amazing. I hope you have an incredible week where you thrive and feel alive. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Max Potential Habits podcast. If you're liking what you've heard, it would be so incredibly awesome if you would subscribe to the channel and leave a 5-star rating and a written review. This helps me help more people while we grow our NFA community so we can rock it out together. For Max Potential Habits resources, go to nfacoaching.com where you can access all of my resources. There's free ebooks, PDF checklists, a journal template, a business mindset meditation kit, and so much more. Plus, links to NFA coaching on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And if you're super serious about up-leveling, there's also a link to schedule a free consult to work with me in group or one-on-one coaching. Until next time, I hope you have a Max Potential Habits Day where you get inspired to do whatever it takes to transform into the most empowered version of yourself so you can lead a rich, thriving, kick-ass life and business.